Target is definitely experiencing what it is like to be Bud lit. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate your continued support and I hope that you are subscribed as well, particularly if you are watching on Rumble, because we do need to support platforms that support free speech. So let's talk about where Target is at these days and what has happened since this boycott started, because we are learning things about Target that probably a lot of us didn't even know were happening behind the scenes. And their dedication to this, Pride Month goes so much deeper than just celebrating the LGBTQ community. Now, if you're anything like me, I definitely had a little bit of skepticism in the beginning about whether or not these boycotts would have an impact. And not to saying that we couldn't have an impact, but it was definitely going to take a lot of people making the choice all at one time to take a step back from Target and say, I'm going to shop somewhere else. I'm going to make the sacrifices in my life so that I can take a stand against this company, because it does require sacrifice for pretty much all of us. It's not like Bud Light where you can just say, I'm not going to drink this beer anymore. I'm just going to buy a different brand. People had no reservations about pouring it down the sink or avoiding it at sporting events. It was much easier to make an example of Bud Light, whereas someplace like Target, I've seen a lot of people comment and say, this might be the only store that people have access to or that's nearby. And I'm not shaming anybody that this truly is the only place that you can shop. I'm not shaming anybody for any choice that they make, but it did make me wonder if we would have enough people taking a stand to send a message to Target. And it turns out that's exactly what happened. According to an article in the Daily Caller, it says Target's market value plunged $9 billion in 1 week after anger erupted over the store's new Pride collection, which features clothing for children and babies, as well as a chest-binding swimsuit top and a tuck-friendly women's bathing suit. Social media users and conservative activists began calling for boycotts of Target following the release of their Pride line last week. The company was valued at $160.96 per share on May 17th at a market value of $74.3 billion. As of Thursday morning, each share was valued at $139.84, the lowest in over a year, at a market value of $64.54 billion, according to MarketWatch data. An adult bikini top available on Target's website advertises a light binding effect. Another women's swimsuit offered tuck-friendly coverage, and some children's swimsuits advertised being thoughtfully fit on multiple body types and gender expressions, according to the Associated Press. So kind of like Bud Light, the responses from Target have been a little bit all over the place. Initially, within the first couple of days, CEO Brian Cornell dismissed the backlash, particularly when it came to their partnership with this Satanist designer to contribute to the Pride collection, in saying, quote, I think those are just good business decisions, and it's the right thing for society, and it's the great thing for our brand. Which, considering what Bud Light has just been going through for the last couple of months, you would think that that would be the last thing that somebody would say, that this is going to be great for business. Something else that they have done is to remove some of the items that they feel people were most concerned about, particularly from the children's line, and also to take down some of their really prominent Pride displays that people were just not impressed with seeing right when they walked in the door. And of course, as predicted, because we all could have seen this coming, by doing that, this caused a backlash from the LGBTQ community. This is from another article in the Daily Caller. It says Target is facing fresh backlash after deciding to pull some Pride Month items from their stores, with advocates for the LGBTQ community claiming the move was the worst thing the retail giant could have done. Civil rights groups bemoaned Target's decision to remove some LGBTQ merchandise from its shelves, saying the retailer, which has celebrated Pride Month for nearly a decade, was going back in the proverbial closet by caving to conservative demands, the Associated Press reported Thursday. Target should put the products back on the shelves and ensure their Pride displays are visible on the floors, not pushed into the proverbial closet, Human Rights Campaign President Kelly Robinson said in a statement, according to AP. That's what the bullies want. And unfortunately for Target, they have continued to push the idea that the greatest threat to their stores and the greatest threat to their employees' well-being are the conservative Christians that are simply saying, I'm not going to spend money in your stores anymore. I'm not going to support your corporation because clearly you don't care about the things that I value and that I believe in. When in reality, the real threats to their stores have come from the LGBTQ community. And again, who could have seen that coming? According to an article in the Daily Mail from May 27th, the headline reads, Utah Target evacuated after it received a bomb threat for turning its back on LGBT community after Pride collection walkback. Store is one of several to receive threats. So there was one in Layton, Utah that was evacuated just a few days ago because of one of these threats. It also says that 5 Targets in across Northeast Ohio and Pennsylvania were also threatened, according to Cleveland 19, who received a threatening email listing stores in Stowe, North Canton, Boardman, Niles, Ohio, and Monaca, Pennsylvania. According to Target, it is a greater threat for me and my family to say we're just not going to spend money in your store versus somebody who calls the store to essentially blow it up. What Target has continued to do is show that they have no intention of walking back, their position or apologizing in any way or recognizing what it is that people are upset about. And not only that, they are going to continue to prioritize the demands of the LGBTQ community over simply choosing just to not be political at all, because it's not that we're saying we want you to replace your Pride collection with a bunch of messages about traditional families and Christian values and Christian messages. It's just that as a store and as a business of this type specifically, you do serve a wide customer base with people that have all kinds of different belief systems and ideologies, and living in America, we have the right to do so. But it's the opposite of the inclusion that you claim to want to push, to single out an ideology and to pick a side of the political aisle and prioritize that and essentially force people to support your causes as they buy your products. So instead of just choosing to be a business that sells pretty home decor and home essentials and food, Target has chosen to be a political activist organization, and they have picked a side, which it is a free country. It is their right to do so. But if they choose to make a political statement with their business, then I have a right to make a political statement back with my transactions. And this all goes so much deeper than just the clothing items or just the items that they're selling in their store. The way that Target has chosen to address these issues is to just take a few items off the shelf, take down the display so people don't see it right when they walk in the door, but still make these items available and accessible to customers and consumers and to kids, which is something that we have seen in school libraries across the country. When we go to the school board and we say, why is this book available to my student or to my child? And this is so inappropriate for them, where we've seen teachers and librarians say, okay, we're going to take this book out of the library, when in reality, all they do is take it off the website, but it's still available and accessible to kids. So there's been this pattern of hiding things from parents or saying that, yes, we're going to honor your wishes, when in reality, it's still going to be just as accessible. It's just not going to be as visible. And Target's dedication to gender ideology goes a lot deeper than this as well. According to an article in the Daily Caller, it says the Target Corporation has been partnering with a group pushing policies to keep a child's gender transition undisclosed from parents and teach gender ideology at all grade levels. The group, the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, or GLSEN, believes gender ideology should be incorporated in all educational content and core subjects, listing a series of instructions on how to make transgender ideology a part of all aspects of the education system, according to its website. It instructs school districts to ensure all students' medical information relating to transgender and non-binary students is kept confidential and must be kept in the dark from parents and guardians. So they've donated over $2 million to this organization that works to keep a child's gender transition a secret from their parents and to incorporate gender ideology into every single subject in school from K through 12. But it gets worse than that. This is from an article from today. It says, Target Marketing VP holds senior position at organization pushing secretive transgender policies in K through 12 schools. It says a Target Corporation senior executive in the marketing department maintains a position with a controversial K-12 advocacy organization called GLSEN, Target's Pride Month partner, which is focused on integrating gender ideology at all levels of K-12 schools, from curriculum to district policy. Carlos Saavedra is a vice president of brand marketing at Target and a treasurer at GLSEN. GLSEN focuses on getting districts to adopt policies that will keep parents in the dark on their child's in-school gender transition, providing sexually explicit books to schools for free, and integrating gender ideology at all levels of curriculum in public schools. GLSEN leads the movement to creating affirming and anti-racist spaces for LGBTQIA+ students. We are proud of 10 plus years of collaboration with GLSEN and continue to support their mission, Target said. The retail giant provides annual donations to GLSEN, which has amounted to at least $2.1 million. And unfortunately, things just continue to get worse and worse for Target, and they don't really seem to care a whole lot like how bad this looks for them, because we're finding out how deeply invested they are, not into just Pride Month, but into this woke ideology, into gender ideology, into the very thing that we are fighting so hard to protect our kids from. Because it's not just about Pride Month anymore. Pride Month is something I feel like we all just kind of tolerated in years past. Over the last couple of years, we have realized how depraved it is and how far gone these people are, and that they want to be able to just push things to an extreme level and then call us bigoted when we're like, yeah, that's disgusting. We're not supporting that. But what amazes me with businesses like Target or Kohl's or North Face or any of these other ones that continue to push out LGBTQ ads with drag queens and things with gender ideology and pronouns and whatnot, is that the more extreme this ideology shows itself to be, that none of them are thinking maybe we should draw a line in the sand, that this isn't a political position, that we should actually say, you know what, you guys are going too far. Like Target could say, you know what, we have supported Pride Month for a decade at this point. We've always been willing to put out these items. We've always been willing to put out t-shirts with rainbows on them and to show you guys support in some way. But what you're doing now is so far beyond that we're going to draw a line in the sand, and we're going to say we're not going to support the mutilation of children. We're not going to support the biological reality that just because you change your name doesn't mean that you can become a man. Instead, they are fully embracing the extremes and the depravity of this ideology, that however far these people want to push it, Target is willing to go right along with it. And not only that, they're putting items out that support it, like chest binding items for girls and tuck-friendly bathing suits for boys. So they're not even willing to draw a line. They don't have any moral compass whatsoever. They say, as far as you're willing to go, we're going to go right along with you, and we're going to fund you and support you. Honestly, I worry about what next year's Target Pride collection is going to look like. Are they going to have t-shirts that celebrate inappropriate relationships between adults and children? Are they going to have pronouns for trans age people? You know, the grown adult 40-year-old male that wants to identify as a 6-year-old girl? Are they going to have labels on baby onesies for that kind of identity? You know, they've already shown us that they don't have a moral compass, or if they do, what they chose to steer it in the direction of was to partner with somebody who praises Satan. I mean, ultimately, Target has sent the message loud and clear where they stand on these issues and how little they care about how we feel about them. So it's our job to send a message loud and clear back that we're just not going to support them for it. So as always, I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. I appreciate you watching my videos and supporting my channel. If you feel so inclined to support the channel with a thanks and with a tip and with a donation, there is a button just below the video to do so. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.